right, Shakur Stevenson putting the full court press on Gervonta Davis. Did an interview with TMZ saying that he wants to fight Gervonta Davis next, acknowledging that Gervonta is the A side. He says that it's the biggest fight in boxing. Said he's at the Mayweather level where he can pick and choose his fights. He has all the leverage, but if you want to fight, I'm down to fight. He also says that he want to get back in the ring as soon as possible. He want to see what happened May 20th between Devin Haney and Lomachenko. So let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. In my opinion, I think he giving him, I mean, obviously, proofs in the pudding. He been on pay-per-view. They said pay-per-view tracking around 600, 700,000, according to Rick Glazer. I mean, you hear people throwing out lies of 1.5 million who have zero credibility in boxing. And people, tagging me and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. You tagging me and the dudes who don't have no pull in boxing. So that shit just crazy to me. Like, if y'all ain't learned nothing else from my channel, I tell y'all how to check sources. If you don't see it from a respectable source, you know what I'm saying, or a source that's been consistently right, it's simple as that. But people want to believe what they want to believe. And if it did 1.5, that got to be in the record books. So that's a dumbass number to pick up. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to see that as 1.5 in the boxing record books. But probably on the Las Vegas, somewhere on the website, right? But he ain't at the Mayweather point. You know what I'm saying? He ain't nowhere near as big as Mayweather is. Nowhere as near as Mayweather was at his peak. But then again, I see what he's saying. He get to pick and choose his fights. And I mean, all them over there pick and choose their fights and move like Mayweather move. You know what I'm saying? So, that ain't nothing new. They act like they got leverage, but they don't have leverage. What the difference between with Mayweather, Showtime wasn't letting PBC go. No, they was extending the PBC or the Al Haymon relationship because of Floyd Mayweather. He carried the whole company on his back. That's the difference. We'll see how long they can go with Gervonta Davis. Mayweather was doing significant numbers. But I get what he's saying. He can pick and choose when he want to fight. He ain't fighting Shakur Stevenson no time soon. Shakur Stevenson doing what he supposed to do. Closed mouth don't get fed. He letting it be known. But at the end of the day, they duck with no shame over there. It's no shame. What's the difference between them saying that Terrence and Errol and Bob in a way? What's the difference between that and Shakur and Bob and, Bob being in a way? He gonna hide behind that. They gonna start saying, we don't want to make no other promoters rich. When you a free agent, call us. You should have signed over here. You about to go through all that. Is it the biggest fight in boxing? Absolutely not. I don't even think it's top 5. We talking about Spence Crawford still out there. I think some people may categorize Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney over that. I think some people, Canelo Benavidez, that's another one. Errol and Jamel might be another one that's bigger than that. Terrence and Jamel might be bigger than that. So this is just me going off the top. It may be a few more that's more fruitful than that. It might be a couple Canelo fights that's more fruitful for that. Canelo Bivol, the rematch might be more fruitful for that. Canelo Jamal Charlo. I mean, you want to put Canelo aside, then possibly so. I think AJ and Wilder, if they do it in the States, is bigger than that fight. So I think it's quite another few fights, but it's right there in the top 8, maybe 7 at the most, at the lowest. It's right there. But it's hard. It's hard for lightweights to pull those type of numbers that they pulled, or they allegedly pulled Saturday night. That's hard, but he think he about to, Gervonta going right into that fight, and Gervonta can't wait him out. The Shakur said he gonna be at the weight a long time. Shakur a little bit younger than him. So he could just ignore them. And they don't have no shame in what they did with Terrence Crawford. There's no shame in that. So Shakur Stevenson's about to just, even with the belts and all that shit, he about to go through the ringer. Unless Gervonta really gonna take control of his career. My thing is, why would you fight Shakur over Devin Haney? Devin Haney, I guess from the aspect, maybe Shakur ain't fully grown into the weight class. That's the only thing I could think. Devin Haney got every belt imaginable. He can be the mandatory over Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, Shakur got the WBC, but Tank hold the regular WBA. You get all the belts. You got Devin Haney, who probably weight drained, right? There's more history between Devin Haney and Tank Davis. There's more money in that fight. And guess what? I ain't got to work with Bob. I ain't got to work with Eddie. You can work directly with Devin and Bill. So it makes a lot of sense. So if he don't fight Devin Haney with everything on the line at this point, if Devin Haney get past Lomachenko, then, at the end of the day, I don't think he has any ambitions on fighting or any plans on fighting Shakur Stevenson. It's all going to boil down to public peer pressure. And the one thing Shakur Stevenson got going for him that Lomachenko or Devin Haney don't got is that he got the East Coast. Him and Tank from the same, even though Baltimore is the South, right? Yeah, people don't know shit about the Mason-Dixon line. I already educated y'all on that. Baltimore is the fucking South. Like it or not, Baltimore is the South. But we just gonna call it the East. So Shakur name starting to ring bells in the East Coast, but he got to continue to build his profile up. Now he talking, I like that he talking, but he need a profile building fight up. And too bad there's nobody out there that could really, raise his profile up. I mean, he can go behind and fight some guys that Tank fight, but it's hard getting Eastside Cruz in the ring. Eastside Cruz, he was asked by Baby Mama's boy, did he want to fight? He started, I don't know, maybe, bullshit like that. So he ain't trying to fight. So it's too bad that he ain't got no other East Coast, fighters to build with. But, if he start attacking, Tank Davis, using New York City, radio stations, interview platforms to start kind of really poking the bear and trying to really, verbally destroy him, giving them props. Nobody want to hear that positive shit. When you really trying to catch Cocaine Bear with some shit like that, dog, you need some cocaine, bruh. And ain't nobody trying to hear that positive shit, man. You gotta be, it's a business. Nobody want to hear you give him props. People want to see you, and I hate to say this, rip that man down. People want to see you tear him down, talk shit, man. Motherfucker ain't that good. Come on, man. He won 6 rounds with a TikToker, man. You gotta create, and people, and it's messed up, the negativity. Being nice and giving compliments and trying to kiss his ass to get a fight, all that's gonna do is buy him more time to duck your ass. You gotta go for the jugular. You gotta go for the kill. Like when Mr. Miyagi had Kreese and Karate Kid 1, when he could have really ended that motherfucker, you gotta end him. You gotta really be on the campaign to shred him, rip him. When he gets sentenced, yeah, that motherfucker got 90 days to think about this ass whooping when he get out. Bitch. Yeah, that's what you gotta say, dog. These dudes don't have personality no more, dog. And I was listening to an interview with Dominique Wilkins. He did one on the Players Tribune with the Knucklehead podcast with Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson. And it was a great interview, by the way, especially if you want to learn about basketball and kind of his trials and tribulations. Like real quick, he said that he was born in Paris, France, military brat, went to Baltimore, left home because it got too dangerous, went to North Carolina, high school in North Carolina, and they got mad because he chose to go to Georgia University, and they tried to Randy Moss, Allen Iverson him, and tried to put him in jail for not staying, in the state of North Carolina, not going to North Carolina, Duke, North Carolina State. And he said that, they arrested him for stealing something for $4 or $5. And the police officer said, you know what, I'm not going to take you to jail. He said he had like $400 in his pocket or something like that at the time. Why would I steal something for $4? He said the police officer helped facilitate moving his family out of North Carolina, and they moved to Georgia University, helped him out. He moved to Georgia. and he said he didn't go back there for 30 years. So when people talk about racism in the South and racism across America, everybody, man, got a story, man. It's crazy. But one of the things he was talking about, he was like, well, why don't you don't know about his legendary dunk contests with even his teammates Bud Webb, Michael Jordan, and all that. He was like, why they was asking like, why do you think superstars don't really want to do dunk contests no more? And one of the things was I think he basically said they didn't want to compete. All these guys, friends, they grew up in the same AU and working out together. You know what I'm saying? He said, when he was part of the second annual McDonald's All-American game, and he says that you always wanted to prove a point because you never seen these guys play. So you see somebody ahead of you, you know what I'm saying? You wanted to go out there in the practices and the games to show that you better than him to jump him in a rating. And now everybody growing up in the same gym, AAU, you know each other, y'all bonded. That takes most of the competitive nature because, we didn't came up in the sandbox together. Basically, we didn't came up in the gym together. Before, I don't know, he from Baltimore, he from Jersey, we never crossed paths. And the box community is a small community, so it's hard to really, go for the kill. It's hard to really talk shit to somebody, and, talk real shit that people really can feel and build that animosity up because it's all love there, unless it's some gym beef or some shit like that. So Shakur Stevenson was, it's kind of like, he's kind of got a playful, kind of like still kind of childish, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of still kind of like, how can I say? I don't want to say childish. Kind of still like a kid, like a joyful still movie. He called him out. It's kind of like it's joyful, but you could tell it's like that Andre Ward shit. You know what I'm saying? Or Ward, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like Ward, they're like, yeah, but you see the killer in his eye. Like with Shakur Stevens, you see the joy in his face, but you see the killer. You can still see the killer in his eye. It's like, yeah, smile and stuff, but yeah, I'm fucking him up. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more, negative with it. And I hate to say that, bro, but if he really wanna touch his pride and force him to get in the ring, that's what he gonna have to do. But it is what it is. I love it, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. So, and if he don't fight Devin Haney, then Tank next. I don't see it happening. So, anytime soon. So, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Peace.